Okay, so before I go into any kind of long form tutorials, I want to just go through the way you scale, move and rotate in Blender. Blender does it in a way that I've never experienced before, and I find it really jarring and quite difficult to coordinate with my fingers. So just as a general guideline, all of the tools work this way. The shortcut for move is G. If you press it, by default it will move in all axes, and I think it's largely dependent upon your camera view and how you're looking at the model. You can constrain it by pressing the axis you want to constrain it on, so X, Y or Z, and if I constrain it to Z, it will just move up and down, and that's brilliant. If you want to exclude a particular axis, like say I don't want to move it in Z, you press Shift and Z, and now it will move in X and Y. And similarly, if I do Shift X, it will exclude X, and if I use Shift Y, it will exclude Y. And that's terrific, but that's a lot of key presses for my poor old fingers and brain to remember, and it's not the way that any program I've ever used before operates. So what I'd like to do is change it so that it behaves more like those other programs. So for the move, for example, that's this tool here, and that brings up this gizmo in the middle where I can move it in a particular direction, constrained in that case. I can grab on the middle box and move it around in all axes, or I could use these little mixers in here. So this blue one excludes the Z-axis, this red one excludes the X, is that, or Z, one of the X or Y, one or the other, and the green one similarly excludes that axis. So that's perfect. If I change my mind when I'm moving something, I want to move it in a slightly different orientation, or on a slightly different axis, I don't have to teach my fingers to do it. I've got a gizmo, I can move it, it's perfect. So if I wanted to use that instead of blenders, which I'm going to be doing in every tutorial I do, I can assign a shortcut to this option here. So to assign a shortcut, you right click and then assign shortcut, and don't click now because it's not expecting you to click, it's expecting you to press a key. So just hover over the blue, and for this one I'll press the G key because that's move. That's what I want to be doing. So let me select a different object or option, and then press the G key, and instead of getting my blender move, I get this gizmo move, which is perfect. So we can set that up for the other keys. So for rotate, I'll right click there, assign shortcut and press the R key, and then for scale I'm going to right click, assign shortcut and press S, and now I can change between all of them quite easily without having to decide which axis I'm going to move in, which one's up, which one's down, and I've got full control without my fingers having to do a small tap dance while I'm doing it. So the last thing then is the select mode. Select modes are up here, and by default the shortcut key is W, but W cycles through the different selection modes. So we have the box select, we have the paint select, the lasso select, and a good old fashioned select. For the vast majority of the time, and I mean 99.9% of the time, I'm going to use box select. So I don't want to be pressing the W key enough times to get back to the box select. So I'm just going to assign W to box select. So I've got box select here. I'm going to right click and set shortcut, and now press W. So now if I press the W button, it no longer cycles through all those different selection options. It's just box select. I can do my normal left click, mouse over to select that. So that's how that's how I'm going to navigate, move, rotate, scale things from now on in my tutorials. I'll refer people back to this video, when I start a video, but just get used to it. Get used to pressing the buttons and doing it. If you prefer it to blend away, then feel free. But personally, I think it's a little bit constraining. Okay, so thank you very much, and I will talk to you in another video.